Well, welcome to this special concert review. It's not common for us old, elderly podcasters to have a review of a concert, but I went and saw Swamp Dogg a couple weeks ago in Healdsburg, California, at a venue I'd never been to called Little Saint. And it was actually a makeup show for Swamp Dogg. Apparently, he had missed it about a year ago prior to that. And having become a recent fan of the Swamp Dogg, I really jumped at the opportunity to see a show 45 minutes away, and it was everything. It was everything a mid 40s show should be.
So was there an opening act, or he just like did
Nope.
they introduce him, or did he come on stage to thunderous applause? Like what was the situation?
He had a full band. I would say it was probably already starting by about 8:15 or so. No opener. Show was supposed to start at 8. He had Moog Star, his keyboard player from the Swamp Dogg Gets His Pool Painted documentary that I believe is still in the theaters now. I have not seen that yet. And I believe his drummer is also in that and is also his roommate. And then there was a guy on violin, fiddle, or whatever, and then a guitarist who was amazing. He was also in zebra pants and a tiger print top,
Mm.
and he was hamming it up towards the end, especially. But let's get into this set list. He played mostly stuff off his first album, his breakthrough here that we covered. Oh boy, there we go. Total Destruction to Your Mind. Check out the podcast link somewhere out there. It started out with Synthetic World, which I thought was a perfect opener. Probably my favorite song of his, and it just kind of portrays, his career and how his career is revitalized. And then he went into another track off Total Destruction in Your Mind. I Was Born Blue, which is an amazing, heartfelt, difficult song tackling racism and a very interesting approach.
With green hair.
Uh, yeah, I was born orange with green hair or something similar to that. But I mean, like I wish I could go into like the. We'll show a picture here, but um, I mean, it was an intimate environment. Small town, really nice environment. I would say packed house, but plenty of room to move around, not like bumping into people. Uh, but the third song he went into was your favorite, "The World Beyond."
Yes.
Um, very surreal hearing all these songs. Uh, Stage banter between every song. If you've seen clips of Swamp Dogg on the internet, he does a lot of stage banter and a lot of comedy. He has this funny little chuckle to himself that is really endearing. Um,
Let me ask you two questions. One is,
Yes.
was he singing the high notes? Like was he singing the melody, or did he kind of jump down to a lower note?
I don't think he's saying like every note for note in the album, but he can sing the high notes. Uh, I don't know exactly how old he is now, but he's got to be close to
80s, right?
pushing 80. Yeah, and he's had a 65-year career. But he seemed, I mean, at one point later on here, he got up, he did a whole diatribe after Sam Stone, which is his famous cover of John Prine from his third album. And he walked through the crowd and he did this whole like almost like sermon about giving money to people who are on the street who are vets, specifically vets. And then he went by and he went around and he like shook everyone's hand. So I made a promise with Swamp Dogg to give money, which of course I never have money anymore. I'm like a digital guy. I'm like, well, I don't have money. Literally, I don't like cash or change. Like it's such a, but
We're in a
yes,
synthetic world, man. How do you do it?
exactly. Let me scan your QR code or something. I don't know, but I made a pact with Swamp Dogg, and yeah, Sarah and I both shook his hand. He like went around the entire room. It
That's
was a
cool.
really surreal moment because the organ's going. It was. I'm about to go to my grandpa's funeral in a few weeks, and that is a nice remembrance of church.
Hmm.
It was it was fantastic. I'm in
That's
shambles
cool.
here as far as a review goes.
Well, tell me, what was the average age of the client of the audience?
Um, I would say that it was, you know, a 40 and up was the majority, but there was younger people too. We were kind of outside. Sarah and I were like, we were dancing and moving and, having like a kind of a nice like couples night out. Felt kind of intimate and romantic.
That's cool.
It
Were
was
you
really,
standing up, sitting down?
we were standing up most of the time. We were moving. We were kind of towards the back. It was nice, beautiful, early summer evening and getting fresh air.
Do you feel
Um,
like people knew who he was, or were there
oh
some
yeah.
in the audience who were just kind of like stumbling into it?
I mean, I think there was probably people that knew of him, probably from his newer stuff. I mean, he's done in the past 10 years, he's done a country album, a bluegrass album, which I bought at the show. Uh, and, he did the auto tune album, Love Lost in Auto Tune with, Bon Iver and other people. So I think there's a nice mix of people that know him from his modern work. And quite frankly, I think his modern stuff is probably more known.
Hmm. Cool.
So it was a mix. I mean, that was near a guy in a Grateful Dead shirt,
Yeah.
and he was young, and he was young. How does he know that band? So, uh, let's see. So in total, they did 8 songs, and so it went Synthetic World, I Was Born Blue, The World Beyond, then The Baby Is Mine, and all those are on his first album.
Hmm.
And then they did She's All I Got, which is interesting because that's the song Freddie North and then Johnny Paycheck popularized, and I guess was probably his biggest royalty paycheck. So, uh,
You got to do it, man.
so, so you got, I mean, it was one of his biggest songs. So he's rolling out the pure hits here.
Cool.
And after that is when he did Sam Stone, which is his cover of John Prine, that, in some circles, I would say is a better version, than the original, because he can hit notes that John Prine can't hit. Let's be honest here. Um, and then he comes back in with Total Destruction of Your Mind, which really felt like the closer as the seventh song, which is also on Total Destruction of Your Mind, the fifth song off that album. Uh,
Were people dancing to that one?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. People were dancing the whole time. There was some hipster movement in the house, and some wilder old ladies too that were kind of making the circle of the place and really shaking things up. And then they basically go into Salafaster, also from Total Destruction of Your Mind, as kind of this long outro jam session, kind of like I remember thinking at one point they're playing the theme song from Family Feud.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So it had a really good feel good attitude. But probably the most interesting thing is I mean, was so much Total Destruction of Your Mind,
Yeah.
and then kind of his most popular like covered song and his most popular cover. So there was no filler here. We were out and home by 11:30, 45
Mm.
minute drive home. So it felt perfect for us, and the
Yeah.
food looked great. We didn't eat there, but the next time something shows up at Little Saint in Healdsburg, we are there. The only thing I messed up was I forgot to bring the little Jerry 45. I could have bugged Swamp Dogg to sign it. I believe it's his first record ever.
That would have been
Um,
great.
it would have. I talked to the merch lady for a while. If it wasn't such a terrible glare, I'll try anywho.
So did you like talk to him after?
No, he wasn't at the merch table. But I bought this, and I almost bought the auto tune one.
So you
Um,
got the bluegrass one?
yeah, I got the. It's called Black Grass. And it is a bluegrass album. Margot Price is on it. It's a pretty big album. Like I said earlier, his modern career is probably as big, if not bigger than say the heydays of his early solo career. Um,
Yeah, it's interesting that he did pretty much exclusively songs from the debut because it's clear that
yeah,
that's he views that as his most prominent work. But what you're
yeah.
saying is probably a lot of people are discovering him right now, just like we are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that. I think those songs are, in good rotation on Spotify and stuff. Maybe not as high, but I mean, I think that's his best work. We covered his best album. The second album, Rat On, which I'm not going to show. Uh, it's I think it suffers from a little bit of the sophomore slump.
Okay.
But his early work kind of faded out, and when he had that ability to put out his own stuff, that's when I think Total Destruction of Your Mind really came together.
Cool. Well, if you're watching this review, dear viewer, please check out our review of the album "Total Destruction to Your Mind." We'll put a link in the comments.
I think it's of a little higher quality than this. We're having a few technical difficulties here this morning, thanks to me.
Well, that's okay. I appreciate you getting up early. You look like Edward Cullen with the diamond skin.
Glowing everywhere and this sunlight beaming in here.
See, that's my second straight episode with a Twilight reference.
Okay, okay. You've been
I
watching a
should
lot of Twilight Zone lately?
no Twilight
Oh no. Oh no, now you're really in
because
trouble.
in Twilight his skin glows like diamonds.
I
That's why
know.
he can't be in the sun. That's why he has to live in Forks, Washington.
Ah, yes.
Maybe we'll do a Twilight soundtrack next.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry for
Oh
the
no.
sorry for the wrong turn.
Yeah. So if we can do a little segue here for maybe a 2 minute discussion. I know you haven't caught any of it yet, but I feel like watching on television the Back to the Beginning Black Sabbath farewell was something that was really interesting in light of everything going on right now. And I know you haven't caught any of it yet, but I urge you to watch some of it. Um, it's a huge show. It must have been like 8 to 10 hours. I feel sorry for all 42,000 people there. Like,
And
you know,
this is in England, right?
this is in Birmingham, England, where Black Sabbath formed, industrial town, working class town. And that sums up Black Sabbath. And Ozzy's getting really up there. He performed in a chair,
Mm,
but he seemed really energized, But
cool.
he did not get up. Um, but he's quite old. And what a show. And for everyone out there that's not fans of quote unquote heavier music or whatever, I gotta say, like this it really did feel like people were coming together. All the bands had great messages. They only said positive things. And I mean, it looked like what I would imagine a good political party would be or something. It seemed so positive and stuff. It's like almost a hippie show or something.
Interesting.
All these different performers playing together in super groups, and it's worthwhile. Even if you don't like Black Sabbath, I mean, Steven Tyler was there for I don't know
I
why,
saw that. Yeah, that was
but for
interesting.
some reason he was
Tom
there.
Morello,
Metallica, Billy Corgan,
Tool.
everybody. It's the We Are the World again.
Whoever would have dreamed. Well, give me a little closing if you would.
Hey, if you're old like Mike and I and don't go to many shows, you can still get out there, okay? I don't go to the mosh pits anymore, but man, it is always great to take in modern live music anywhere you can, and it's a transformative thing. And the Swamp Dogg show really cemented something that I already believed, which is that this is a fantastic performer and a performer that people should see. And amazing. He's going to keep going too.
That's great. I'm glad you got to go.
Oh yeah, he'll be in Georgia.
I'll keep an eye out.
Alrighty. All right. Thanks, Mike. This is
All right.
ramshackle as it gets.